Hey, what is up, everyone? This is Zach, aka Keats39 here, bringing you another NFL Showdown slate. We get a game with my Pittsburgh Steelers against the Minnesota Vikings. Um, Honestly, it looks like a really fun game on paper. Like I kind of expect this to be pretty high scoring. A lot of guys that I really like in this matchup. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started right into this. Um, First of all, Deontay Johnson. I've been a Deontay Johnson stan since forever. He's been one of my favorite players in the league forever. He has bet on it last year. I bet on a lot on over props just because he gets targeted so much. To have the over unders are a lot higher nowadays than they were last year. So, but like these targets 11, 14, 13, 13, like double digits in every game but two. I'm pretty positive he got hurt in that one. Yeah, like he is just so good. Gets a matchup against the Vikings, who are just terrible on defense as well. Yeah, like nothing scares you about this team. Um, very high floor, high ceiling. Love Deontay Johnson. Gonna do whatever I can to jam him in. Um, the tough thing about this slate is that there are a lot of studs I want to jam in. There's literally four 10K players that I really want. So next one being Najee Harris. The Vikings are not good on defense, or not good on rush defense either. As you can see, I really don't like the Vikings defense. But yeah, you just get when you look at these snap counts for Najee Harris, like it's just tough to beat this. Gets very good workload in the receiving game, like five targets in all these games, basically. Um, just another high floor, high ceiling. I do expect him to score in this one. I'd kind of expect that type of workload. The Steelers are trying to get into the playoffs again. Probably especially with this being Big Ben's last year, they're going to probably sell out. So I just expect a ton of Najee Harris again. Like it is that the slate's going to come down to getting touchdowns right, and I really like the odds of Najee Harris scoring in this one. So Ben, I originally had no interest in him, literally until I just sat down and started recording this. But 9K is really cheap in this matchup. I'm not going to build around him, but if I do land on Ben instead of like Najee, I'm not going to be like upset about it. I mean, like he's been fine in fantasy terms. I've been hard on him regular football wise, but I will say he has been a lot better these last couple of games after a shaky start to the season. He really has picked it up lately. I'm not going to deny that. So like you get your 16 to 22 points from him at 9K, like that's good value on these types of slates. Chase Claypool, I struggle with it. Like 7.4 is really cheap. He's gonna probably get 2 or 3 targets deep down the field. He always does, and in this type of matchup, that's one that he can definitely win. He's just kind of a weird player. I don't really know how else to describe him, but like even how bad he's been, like 7.4, these are not that bad of games at this price. Honestly, probably one of my favorite captain options. And the more high tier builds, obviously, like the top 4 studs, I definitely prefer as captains, but it's going to be tough to do that. So, and they love trying to get Chase Claypool involved around the red zone. It's been a little not as good as last year with Pat Freiermuth and Najee Harris being way better than we had last year. But they still so watching the games, like they love the end around to Chase Claypool. This year they've been faking it a lot and it's working. So like one of these times they're gonna actually run it again and he's gonna score a touchdown. So I really do like the ceiling on Chase Claypool this week. However, I do prefer Pat Freiermuth. I love this guy. He is so good. He's going to be so good for the Steelers for a long time. Just a note, the Steelers draft picks, I hated both of them, not because of the player. They literally both these draft picks are home runs in terms of players. Like they're both super studs. Like just not the positions that I would like the Steelers to draft, a running back and tight end in the first 2 rounds. But both these guys are awesome football players. They love getting him involved in the red zone as well. That's if you look at these last games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the last 6 or 7. And last week he had the 2-point conversion. It turned out to be the difference. So, yeah, like they're gonna get him involved. He's just so big, such a mismatch in the red zone. Yeah, just I like him as a solid play. He's probably more GPP, a little more priced up than because he does have to score probably honestly 2 touchdowns. So maybe I do actually prefer Claypool, just higher floor. But yeah, James Washington, I have almost no interest in. Yeah, playing under 50% of snaps, like give me a kicker in this matchup all day. Even Raymond McLeod's cheaper and he's playing more snaps, so I definitely would even prefer him at the 3.2K mark. It's definitely more GPP because he does have these games where I saw 15% snap rate. But yeah, I definitely prefer kickers over him as well, and I prefer the Vikings guys over him too. And there's no really like dirt min guys. I guess Anthony Miller you could take a stab at. Never mind. I'm not realizing he went back to practice squad. That's kind of sad because I like Anthony Miller. I do think he's better than Ray McLeod, especially because they're trying to get Ray McLeod involved in the return game, and he's just not good at it. But yeah, I guess not really any pure cheap guys on the Steelers side. Like Zach Gentry is going to play a decent amount of snaps so he's in play, but I prefer D.D. Westbrook easily. So yeah, that's not much value on the Steelers side, other than obviously I love Chris Boswell. He's always awesome. And even Steelers D, I think is worth a sprinkle. I do think it's high scoring, but TJ Watt is trying to win an MVP. I don't think he has much of a chance at it, but he definitely has a very good shot defensive player of the year. And he is just really, really awesome. Him and Cam Hayward both. They're going to get sacks in this one. Kirk Cousins both make mistakes. So like getting under pressure, pick six and Minka Fitzpatrick always in play. I won't have any of it, but I could see the argument. Over to the Minnesota side of the ball. It's really tough to judge. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins are not going to play. Obviously, totally different game if he does play. I'll say if he does play, I have no interest in him or Madison. I feel pretty confident that they split this kind of even. Maybe even Madison would lead. So yeah, no interest in either if they play if he plays. But if he's out, I love Alexander Madison. He plays a ton of snaps. Yeah, 86 in that one when he started, 70, 66. And I don't expect him to play very much at all either. So, love Madison. The Steelers' run defense has been terrible. All Pittsburgh people know the running joke is how bad Devin Bush has been this year, which kind of sucks because I really, really like Devin Bush. But after his injury, he just has not been very good. But yeah, he's a really good pass catcher, a really physical runner. I think he's like that. Deontay, I probably have him third on my rankings behind Deontay and Jefferson, but ahead of Najee. But I am going to try to figure out a way to get off four. It's not going to be easy. Probably have a couple lines, some with Chase Claypool that's a mid-tier and fading one of those guys. But really, really love Alexander Madison if Dalvin Cook misses. Justin Jefferson, he has just been insane lately. It's like last week, Thielen went down and he was just incredible. He's been doing it all year. No sophomore slump from Justin Jefferson. The Steelers have nobody that can guard him. So the only way he doesn't smash is if they're like throwing triple coverages at him. Like his route running just makes him really hard to guard by any top tier corner, let alone ones that aren't good. So yeah, love Jefferson, love Madison. Kirk, he's been really really good too at 10.4. Honestly, I prefer him in cash over the other like Deontay's and maybe not Justin Jefferson, but like yeah, in cash, he is just right up there with those guys. He's been really, really good in fantasy terms. Um, I don't know who I think is going to win this one. Let me check who the favorite is quick. Not that I'm going to put much weight into what they say. We're just going game theory wise. Yeah, Vikings 3-point favorites. I think that's pretty fair. But like, I definitely prefer Cousins to Big Ben. Especially if Cook's out, they'll throw a little more, even with Thielen out. Yeah, that's where I stand on that. Tyler Conklin is one that he probably does see some sort of a uptick with no Thielen. He was good last week, as you see. 9 targets, 7 catches, 56 yards. Definitely in play. I just don't see much of a ceiling. I definitely prefer Pat Freiermuth, and I definitely prefer Chase Claypool in the range. And I definitely prefer KJ Osborne in the range. Last week he played a lot of snaps as well. 91%, or sorry, 92%. He actually beat Justin Jefferson in snaps. Turned on the 4 for 47 and a touchdown. He was really good to start the year as well. So like obviously the dude can play. When you look at his player profile, it's nothing crazy, but very, very solid. I definitely take that in a game where you're gonna get a high scoring game at 5.6 playing those types of snaps. Like, yeah, sign me up for that. Probably my favorite cheap guy. Like the kicker, D.D. Westbrook. I do like him as well. Probably my favorite punt player. That's not the kickers, obviously. Played close to 50% of snaps last week. Thielen only played 6, so I probably expect something similar to that. Yeah, I don't expect. I don't know. Like in a pretty even matchup, I do think that. I think that with a little more practice time, we do see more D.D. Westbrook this week. Like I think 55% of snaps is probably fair. And I've been a big fan of D.D. Westbrook for a long time. Hasn't been great in the NFL, but he had moments where he looked like a really legit slot receiver. So if that's where we're gonna see him, I think he's very, very solid. If you don't think he's gonna play, you can take a shot on a guy like Chris Herndon, who we just saw play 20% of snaps. He's a guy that has always been hyped up. Never paid off. Like if you want the 4 studs, like that's like it's the build that I've played around with a little. It's like how much do I trust D.D. Westbrook, and how much do I think these studs actually score? But like, is this possible? Deontay 57th. I'm pretty sure that's KJ Osborne. Yeah, it's like this type of build works. If Didi, he's gonna play a fair amount of snaps. If he could sneak in the end zone somehow, like this lineup is really fun. But even if you don't, you can go. I think the kickers are safe here. You barely missed double kickers. 700 over, but yeah, like you can play around with stuff like this. Go Big Ben over Najee. Like there's a lot of fun builds on the slate. There's no like pure punts that make it really fun. But there is a lot of plays that definitely make you think. Like Chase Claypool is probably going to be my GPP decider, especially like when you see he's playing. Snaps went down a little last game. He's a little banged up, but like he's been playing 90% of snaps in a lot of these games. So that's where I'm probably going to try to stand on a GPP, go overweight on him. But yeah, this top four guys, it's really hard to get around any of them. Such good matchups for all of them. So yeah, that's gonna do it. As always, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Be around for chat for the Dalvin Cook news. It's gonna be pretty big. All that, I told you guys how I feel about it. I'm not gonna play either of them if he's in, and I really like Alexander Madison if he's out. So that's gonna do it. Till next time, go Steelers.